Hi Mayur,
Hi Aditya.
welcome to Sudeep Audio's YouTube channel.
Thank you.
We're opening season 9 with you
Yes,
in 4K.
I'm so excited.
So I hope the recording turns out right.
I'm sure.
So Mayur, I've met you with my younger brother
Yes.
Jayashil in 99 2000.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've seen you grow as a musician, as a popular independent artist under the name of Bandish Projekt.
Yeah.
So, if you could run us through your musical journey quickly and then talk about how you developed your career, because you kind of grew in a small city called Ahmedabad, where people think music नाम का कोई चीज नहीं है, and they'll be surprisingly amazed to know that we have guys like you from here.
Yeah.
So, if you could
Sure.
please share your journey with us.
So I was born in Bombay in a musical family. Started playing tabla at early age. Got into it. Did 25 years of tabla. Got like the entire.
Who did you learn under?
So I was learning from Divyang Vakil. That was my only guru who I learned from, and he was based in Ahmedabad that time. And yes, I like serious classical tabla. That was like when I was my schooling and my college days. Yeah, I moved here in '85 when my dad moved here, and since then I've been in Ahmedabad, and I love the city. So I started playing music very early age, and got really excited with the kind of influences I was getting when I was in my teens.
What kind of music did you listen to?
Earlier, I was listening to a lot of like semi-classical ghazals and stuff like that, because that's what my dad used to play. So music to tha, and then when I was into college, I started listening to a lot of electronic music, which we used to get in like those international CDs. There were like 2 or 3 stores in Ahmedabad which used to sell like Music World and all that, and they were really expensive to buy. So we just used to get all these CDs from UK and the artists like Talveen Singh and Nitin Sone, and that's what I think got interested me to listen to that kind of music, because it had a lot of Indian connection to the music they were doing, and also had the international sounds to it. So yeah, I think that's where it all started, and I started listening to it. First of all, because I was not a producer and that such, and I don't know how to like make music on computer, and it was very new because computers were not like huge at that time in India. I was like, how do you make this kind of music, So I got a friend of mine, Udyan. He was with me in my school. So we just ganged together and we just like, let's see how we can make something like this. So we got a friend who got us like a comp. Actually, Udyan had a comp. Uske dad ne usko comp diya tha. So he had a PC, like a very old school PC, and then we figured out this Fruity Loops demo version on it and started fiddling around kind of thing. And then you're like, yeah, it's a demo version, so how does it work? But because nobody's there to teach us. So we know what to make, but how do we make? How do we program? So we had to learn like everything on our own kind of thing. So figured out, then used to like रेंडर 15 मिनट्स के बाद क्रैश हो रहा है, फिगर्ड आउट के 15 मिनट में तो बीट ड्रॉ हो जानी चाहिए, नहीं तो क्रैश हो जाएगा. सो वी वर लाइक, तो तब से अभी तक वही चल रहा है कि फास्ट काम कर दो ताकि वो खत्म हो जाए, कुछ होना नहीं चाहिए, मतलब सो दैट इज दैट एटीट्यूड सिंस देन गॉट इनटू like sound editing part of it also, like when the Cool Edit Pro came in and stuff like that. So just got into the software, delved in, and
We're all self-taught.
Yeah, all self-taught, man, because that time I remember the friend of mine from London called Mukul. So Mukul, he was part of this Asian underground crew called Anokha Sound Systems. Mukul Patel, yes, of course. So, and he was from Ahmedabad. So a friend introduced me to him, and I was like, oh my god, he's from Ahmedabad, because I was listening to his music. I was like, can you please introduce me to him and all that? So he was pretty cool. He came down to our friends. We had a basement we were working under. And so there we had like a small setup, similar like this, like a computer and speakers and all that. So he's like, take this software. And I'm like, what is this? So he's like, this is Reason. This is like really cool software. So I was like, okay. So and he left. And he's like, he passed us some really great music to trip on for like a very long time. And we just listening to good music. And then later on we figured out that the software, as soon as it opened, our jaws dropped. Like, what is this? We have never seen anything like this. This is like a machine in a computer, and we don't know where to start from, right? Like, because Reason had so many things in it. It was like, I don't know what. So So it took about, I think, 6 months for us to at least like start, and like that we could relate to, like, Fruity Loops drum pattern to the recent redrum thing. कि अच्छा इस पे ये करना होगा तो शायद होगा, तो आवाज कहाँ से आ रहा है, where to like put the. So it took us 6 months to get into the arrangement window, because we could draw the drum pattern but we couldn't put that down. And yeah, there was no emails back then and stuff like that. तो यूके को फोन करके भी नहीं पूछ सकते मुकुल को कि बहुत महंगा पड़ रहा है, तो सो या सो इट वाज काइंड ऑफ फिगरिंग आउट.
Was this time pass or was this like, were you serious?
No, I was like, we were really serious. I was really serious. Like, I was doing music 24/7. I'm still doing that. But back then also, I was like, I want to do this. Come what may happen, I want this beat here so that I can move forward. So that's how it all started, man. And then since 97, I think 98, 99, we started Bandish Projekt together, me and Udayan. And then we started a culture of like people listening to good and really creative stuff in music in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad so-called was like a dry state all the time, so there was no clubs happening and stuff like that, and people ये करने को कुछ नहीं है कि there's nothing happening.
अभी भी नहीं है.
हाँ, अभी भी नहीं है. But so what we used to do is, like, we met another friend of ours called Mihir. He was from Bombay. He met us and we like, let's do this nights in Ahmedabad. And we were like, okay, let's start and see what it works and how it works. So we started doing nights in Shanku's water park in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
Uh, so they had a disco thing where they had showers in it, so you can dance. So rain dance kind of thing. So we used to play there.
And what kind of music?
So we used to play what we used to like, basically, and we used to play like a lot of different kinds of like drum and bass and everything what we listened to at that particular time.
So you created your own tracks? Yeah?
No, so first we used to play other people's music,
Okay.
and then we figured out that how we can create this kind of music.
Okay.
Also, that was a kind of a way forward for us, because when we started, we were playing that music. People were like, "Oh, this is right, kind of cool." So, but it was really funny for like me when I was making like my music. When I made the kind of music I wanted to do, when I asked other people to play, they said like, "No, we can't play. This is really bad, and we can't. Nobody will listen to this kind of music." I was like, "But I play in Ahmedabad." So like, "Oh, you are from Ahmedabad, bro. You're talking something else. We live in different cities and people don't listen to this music." And I was like, okay, fine, then let me play my music and see how it works, whether it works or not. And then it was kind of a uniqueness which worked towards me, is that nobody was playing my music. I was the only one who was playing that music, and people started liking that music. So they started calling me to play that music, because nobody else was ready to play that. So then everybody's like, "Arey, ye to." Everybody started that music which we were not trying to play, because he asked us to do. And I was like, whatever, man, just play. If you like it, just play it.
So when you say, Mayur, that this is my kind of music and people
Yeah.
are not playing my kind of music, what exactly are we talking
So
about?
for example, there were like a lot of like break beats, there were like drum and bass beats, and I used to add my tabla on it, and I still do that. And I used to add a lot of like Indian vocals on it. And when I say Indian vocals, it was not Bollywood songs or anything like that. It was like classical rags or like Bandish and stuff like that. And people were like, "इस पे dance नहीं हो सकता है." And we were like, okay, fine, we'll play and let's see whether we. So we created that atmosphere in Ahmedabad where people used to come to eat bhaji pav, and then they used to dance on this kind of music.
No liquor, nothing.
No, there was no liquor ever, so it's still not there. So it was a dry state, and people used to just have sandwiches, coke, and they used to come. So
But you used to enjoy.
yeah, man, they were like 1,000-1,500 people. So my whole point was that people are if you play good music to anybody who has not heard anything before, they will like it. You don't need to tell them what is this kind of music or that kind of music. They'll just come and they'll dance if they see. It's like, when you go to colleges, people are so enthusiastic and so in the zone of, I want to enjoy. So if there is a upbeat music and if there is like the excitement of music, they are going to move, right? And at the same time, it's like if you feed them really good music, they're gonna enjoy it, and then they'll remember that music for a very long time. So I still have friends who used to come to my parties, still keep telling me that I still have your CD which you gave me back in 2001 and 2003. I still have that, and I keep listening to that kind of music, and that's the reason what I mean. Like the motto for me to do that nights were to people come there and listen to the kind of music I was liking. and introduced them. So it was kind of a, I won't say education, but it was kind of a culture building workshop for me all the time. Like, I'm just building a massive culture in Ahmedabad of listening to varied kind of music and different styles of stuff, electronic stuff. So, and it was pretty open. Like, we had like really like experimental music
But
playing.
you didn't have
sometimes.
audiences telling you बीच में से ये यार फिल्मी गाना बजा ये क्या बजा रहा है
No,
ऐसा
apparently, maybe at a very initial stage I would have got, but I don't remember because then it was like a following of people. People started following that kind of music. So
But remember there was no social media at that time.
yeah. So what we used to do is basically we used to make these mixtapes, or those days we used to have these cassettes and all those. So we used to make these cassettes, and I remember we made like say 100 of them, and maybe our remixes of what we do kind of thing, and give it to the rickshawalas or the people at the restaurants, and they used to play that music. So people who are going there, they'll say, "Hey, what is this playing?" At that time, even music playing in a restaurant or a rickshaw was kind of cool, right? And that too, playing this kind of music was really cool. So people were like, "Hey, what are you playing?" So the rickshawala was told that if somebody asks, just give them this card.
Achha.
So they had the
That's
and
how
then
you marketed your.
yeah, I mean that was the easiest way we could, because we didn't have money. So it was and rickshawala is like, "Ye cool hai. I like it." So like, and I was like, at that time only when we figured out that if you go with an open mind, like that person who has nothing to do with music, if he's saying that this is cool and I can play, then anybody can just go and listen to it at least, and then try if they like
that
it or
gave
not.
you the confidence of.
Correct. Try. And then we did that for a couple of years. And then people started listening to our music. Then they started following the kind of music we're doing, and they started liking it. And even like then we started touring outside Ahmedabad and Bombay and other cities and Hyderabad and a lot of different cities we did together. And then I think then the whole social media started back in. MySpace came in, and and MySpace, I still like love MySpace as a module, because it was just for musicians. I mean, nothing against anybody, but I'm just saying because people used to just come there to listen to music, like what SoundCloud is today. But it had a different charm to it back then, and and we did like massive festivals. Like we did Sweden. There was a festival we did in Clandestino festival we did in Sweden. Then we did a festival in France and stuff like that. So people used to get in touch with us through MySpace.
Okay.
They used to write to us. Like we did a lot of remixes for international artists through MySpace, and this was till 2006. I'm saying, when people were listening to our music. And I mean, even today, if like a old school fan comes to me and they keep telling me that that track was only there on MySpace and now it's not there anywhere. So I'm like, bro, you're so loyal to the kind of things I don't even remember. That where it was, kind of thing, And so it's kind of fun, man. And 2003 was the first time one of our tracks got released in UK label, which is again an Asian underground label called Nasha Records. And wo bhi track was made, like the beat was made on a Fruity Loops demo version, and we had to render it a couple of times, and then
So you've learned along the way.
yes.
And unlike today, I mean, now that we are in 2019, under your label, you've also had many releases, and we'll talk about that in the next part also.
Yeah.
One point is that people say कि यार बॉस इतना साल बजा रहा है म्यूजिक, बॉलीवुड में कौन सा गाना है आपका? Do you get asked such questions?
Yeah, I mean they're very. Yeah, I mean for people who are not a part of music industry or not listening to any music than Bollywood, they would ask me this question. Yeah, like family people and stuff like that.
हाँ, कौन सा पिक्चर में गाना बजाया?
हाँ.
तो कैसा हैंडल करने का?
Yeah, I mean I don't know how to handle it because I've not been asked so many times. But yeah, I mean couple of times they've asked me and I'm like, nahi banaya. I've not made any songs in Bollywood. That's it. I mean, I mean, I'm not thinking what they're thinking in their head, but I'm like, yeah, because for me, I was not thinking Bollywood is the goal or anything like that ever. And even today, because being what I'm doing for last more than like 20 years now, I don't think that it's just Bollywood or anything like that, because there is an industry which runs parallel. You can do a lot of things in that if you want to do. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do Bollywood or anything. Like, it's up to you how you want to do it. And I'm also open for Bollywood. It's not that I'm not doing anything with Bollywood or Indian film industry or whatever. What I'm trying to say is that it's basically up to you what you want. Like for example, I always like, you know, very now that you have asked that question, I always used to think that, you know, we have these reality shows and all these kids sings on reality shows.
Yes.
Where do they go? Like, I don't see them.
Or hear them.
Or hear them later. And I'm like, unka career ka kya hota hai? Like, what do they do? Like, do they have like a career? Or they must be singing the same songs what they have sung on the stage on that platform, maybe somewhere else, and them making that. But so I think it very differently. I think that what if one of those kids get collaborated with one of the best producers from UK and start his own career as an individual artist and make original songs and maybe tour in UK, not even in India. What will that give him, or what impact that will create in his life as an independent artist? Has nothing to do with, like, you know, Sonu Nigam is my idol or whoever it is. Like, due respect to all of them, but what I'm saying is that you can at least try and do something else, na? You, like, every kid I see has the same story of saying that, you know, I want to sing in Bollywood film. I'm like, it's kind of a culture which has been built for years, right? कि हमको films में गाना है. So I don't get that. I don't understand that. Right. And like, I have never thought that I want to make music in films.
That's not your goal.
I'm making music. If that fits the films, it fits the films. And even if I have to make a music for film, I'll make it like that. But I don't make music thinking like that, is what I'm saying. So for me, it's very kind of simple, man, in my head. Like, yeah, I just make music and see where it goes, kind of thing.
Nice. So Mayur, in the next part, we'll talk about more about Bheja Fry Records and what things you do after, you know, the last 10 years that you've been making the scene under this label.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your journey till now.
Thank you, man.